Hare Krishna.
This is Yamuna, yeah? This is Yamuna. Prashant. Hare Krishna. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janapalava Giri Bharatari Gopi Janapalava Giri Bharatari Yasodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Chamanatira Vanachari Chamanatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Mukam karati vachalam, pangalang kategirim, yakitam bande, svigaram dinatarinam. I think you could put maybe the fans on. It's a bit warm in here, yes? Mukam karati vachalam, pangalang kategirim, yakitam bande, svigaram dinatarinam. Om Gyana Tirandasya, Gyananjara Sharakaya, Chakshumiritam Yena Dasamai Sri Gurave Namaha. So I'd like to welcome you to the first day of our 3-day seminar on the prayers of Prahlada Maharaj. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, the guru of my guru, Srila Prabhupada, has said that Hiranyakashipu, he was a big demon. Do you all know the story? You know the story of Nrsimhadev? Yeah? Where he came to protect Prahlada Maharaj from his father, actually. The original child abuser was Hiranyakashipu. And so Nrsimhadev came to protect him from being killed by Hiranyakashipu. So his father had all the demoniac qualities, pride, anger, lust, everything, whereas Prahlad had all the good spiritual qualities. So if we study his prayers, we will understand how to cultivate the divine qualities and how to pray also. So you can go to your last page, which is the prayers. Find it here. And we're going to sing the first one on the prayer sheet. This was sung by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he visited Jayadinashinga temple. He sang this prayer. It should be the last page of all your papers. Yeah, prayers. And I'll sing a line, you can repeat after me. You got it? Maybe you didn't get it. She didn't get it. You got it? Yeah, that's it. Is it? Does she have it? Okay, maybe she didn't get it. Yeah, I had some papers that were not exactly. Okay, maybe that was one of those. Okay. You have it now? Okay, good. So I'll sing a line, you can repeat after me. Shri Nishinga Jai Nishinga Jaya Jai Nishinga Dev. Shri Nishinga Jai Nishinga Jaya Jaya Nishinga Dev. Prahlade Jaya Padma Mukha bringa. Prahlade Shachaya Padma. Mukha bringa. Glorious Nrsimhadev, who is the Lord of Prahlad Maharaj, and like a honeybee, is always engaged in beholding the lotus-like face of the goddess of fortune. So that is our Nrsimhadev. So now Nrsimhadev is very, very angry, and all the demigods from the higher planets, they came and they tried to pacify him, but nobody could. So they pushed Prahlad Maharaj forward. And when the Lord saw Nrsimhadev, he started to lick him, just like a lion licks the child, a lion cub. So Prahlad's like a lion cub, and Nrsimhadev is like his father. And he started licking him. And so he is pushed forward to offer these prayers. And when he saw Prahlad, he picked him up, put him on his lap, and put his hand on his head. So Srila Prabhupada said that we can have the same benefit of getting the Lord's hand on our head by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So everybody can do that, Hare Krishna mantra. And then we can, when we chant, we are touching the Lord with our tongue. So this is Prahlad Maharaj. He got all the ecstatic symptoms when he got the hand on the head. And we can also get that too, chanting Hare Krishna. So now we're going to go to your, it says a flip chart. Here we go, outline. That should be the first page on here. Oh, okay, yeah, that's better. All right, flip chart, humility. So when you're going to pray, start praying, you have to start with humility. And that's verse 8 here, it says humility. So Prahlad Maharaj said that, Lord Shingadev, although, how can I offer you prayers? Because I'm born in a very demonic family. My father was a big, big demon. And I'm his son, so how can I please you? And all these great saintly persons, these demigods, they couldn't please you. So he was not feeling proud like, oh, they couldn't do it, let me do it. He wasn't like that. He was thinking, how can I do it? But then the next prayers we have here again from 9 to 12 on your outline shows all the reasons why he is confident that he can please Lord Nrsimhadev. So the next verse, verse 9, is about he's confident because Krishna, he's not looking for anything material from us. He's looking for our love. And so this is, and even animals could make the Lord happy. We have a monkey, Hanuman, we have Gajendra, an elephant, and he doesn't care about wealth, beauty, austerity, education, physical strength, intelligence, mystic yogic power. That doesn't mean anything to the Lord. He just wants our service. So now we will go to the verses, verse 10, another reason why he's confident that the Lord will be pleased with him. And that is because he is actually dedicating everything to Krishna. So you look at your verses, it's the top one, 7, 9, 10, which should be on the first page of the verses. So I'll sing a line and you can repeat after me. Vipradishat guyat yutad aravindanapa. Vipradishat guna yutad aravindanapa. Pada ravinda vimukha shabacham parishtam. Pada ravinda vimukha shabacham parishtam. Man ye tad arbita mano vachane hitartha. Hitartha. Pranam punati sakula natu purimanha. Nam punati sakula natu purimanha. If a brahmana is all 12, of the Brahminical qualifications as they're stated in the book of Sanat Sundat, but is not a devotee, and is averse to the lotus feet of the Lord, he is certainly lower than a devotee who is dog-eater, but who has dedicated everything, mind, words, activities, wealth, and life, to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmana, because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas the so-called Brahmana, in a position of false prestige, cannot purify even himself. So it's described that by birth, everyone is born a Shuddha. That means he doesn't know anything. Everyone is born ignorant. Sanskara bhave dvija. When you get initiation by a guru, then you have your second birth. It's called dvija. Now the bird is also called dvija because a bird has two births. First he comes out as an egg. And the second birth is when he breaks out of the eggshell. So we're like the bird. We're born in the eggshell of ignorance. But when we take initiation, then we break out of that shell. So and so we become twice born. So now I want to tell you a story about how we can help our family by being a devotee of Krishna. And this is this is a story from His Holiness Indradumna Swami. So it's described that when a pure devotee is born in a family, his ancestors before him and his descendants are liberated for 100 generations, back 100 generations forward. That's a pure devotee. When a preacher, second-class devotee, is born in a family, his ancestors and descendants for 14 generations are liberated, before and after. And when a neophyte, a beginner devotee, is born in a family, 3 generations before, 3 generations after. So even if you think you're just a beginner, you can liberate 3 generations. Your parents, your grandparents, and your great-grandparents. Your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Just by you doing your devotional service to Krishna. They get the benefit just like you do. And so, Indradumna Swami, he was trying to help his mother. And he was sending her books. And when he would discuss with her about God, she said, something may be out there. And he said, when I visited her, we would debate the existence of the soul, life after death, karma. And he said I was cultivating that little something in her heart. A few years ago, she telephoned me late one night, unusual hour to call, and she started by asking if I would take her to Vrindavan, India. I was shocked. I said, Mother wants to go to Vrindavan? What? How does she even know what is Vrindavan? But she insisted and wanted to know when we could go. And I was very surprised, but it was very late, and I told her, okay, I'll call you back tomorrow morning, and we'll discuss. So he woke up, he called, his brother answered. He said, can I speak to Mom? And he said, Mom passed away last night. So Maharaj said, but how, I just talked to her, how could she pass away? He said, yeah, she was suffering from cancer, and for the last 6 months, she didn't want to tell you. I said, so Maharaj said, well, did she say anything at the end? And yes, she did. She said, don't lament for me. I'm not this body. I'm eternal spirit soul. I'll never die. I'm going to Krishna. And then she passed away. And I couldn't believe it. My mother, who debated the existence of God, and he said, well, how's it possible she said those things? And he said, well, when she learned she had cancer, she became restless, and she was asking about you. She wanted to meet you. And I said, okay, let's call. She said, no, don't bother him now. We'll contact him later. So then she got all the books from the garage she was reading and underlining different passages. and she was listening to your tapes at least 3 a day. And then so gradually her condition deteriorated, but she wasn't afraid. I think something in those books made her fearless. And she knew she was going to die, so she called you, and her last request was that you take her to a place called Vrindavan. So Maharaj took her ashes to Vrindavan in the Jamuna River. So yeah, we can save our family. Even if before we didn't know about Krishna, we're not born in a devotee family, it doesn't matter. We can liberate our family. So then, the next verse, Prahlada says, now you can look at this one, outline again. And we had verse 9, that he's confident even animals could satisfy him. 10, even a dog-eater Brahman, Vaishnava, is better than non-devotee Brahmana. And living Krishna is self-sufficient, but he begs our love. So when we serve Krishna, then it's just like when we decorate our face, the reflection of our face in the mirror is also decorated. So when we decorate Krishna, we are decorated with good spiritual qualities. And that's why he's confident that the Lord will hear his prayers. If we decorate the deity, we decorate our heart. So verse 12 is about, he's saying that, if I just offer prayer and chant about you, then I'm also confident that I will get pure, I will get liberated, I will go to you. So in one purport, Srila Prabhupada said that when a person, even though he is not a Brahmin by birth, if he chants, his body changes. The Brahmanas in India, they say, you cannot be elevated unless you change your body into a Brahmin body. You come, like when we were in India, then some Brahmanas said to us, oh yeah, you're doing such a nice worship. Next life you can be born in a Brahmin family. So we told Prabhupada said, you tell them, oh, you're doing such a nice worship. Next life you can be born in ISKCON. So, yeah. So when we chant, our subtle body is changing. We are changing our body. We have a Brahman Vaishnava body, our subtle body, which is made of mind, intelligence, and ego. That we have changed. And that's our change of body. And so we do fulfill the requirements of the Brahmanas because we are changing our subtle body. So verse 13, now these two verse 13, 14, Nrsimhadev, very angry, he's trying to pacify him. And he's telling why he should not be angry. He's saying, here, these are your devotees, these demigods. And they're afraid of you. So you're meant here to protect and improve the universe. And now, if you're so angry and you make them afraid, then how can we do our service? How can they do their service? So in verse 14 is a famous verse that, please don't be angry, because a saintly person is happy even if a scorpion or a snake is killed. And so that is, we see that Hiranyakashipu, his father, was just like a snake, a scorpion. And so everyone was happy that he was killed. All the demigods were happy. Prabhupada also, one time there was one man in Bombay, he tried to destroy the temple. The lady Pujari, they dragged her by the hair to the jail, to the police van. And so Prabhupada was very happy when this man died, who was causing the trouble. Because he was just torturing the devotees, basically. And the deity, he was trying to break the deities also. So yes, a sadhu, a saintly person, is happy when a snake is also killed. So 15, Prahlada is saying how he's fearless, I'm not afraid of your ferocious mouth and tongue, your eyes bright like the sun, your frowning eyebrows, your sharp pinching teeth, your garland of intestines, your hair soaked with blood, your high wedge-like ears. I'm not afraid of your roaring, which makes elephants flee, or your nails, meant to kill your enemies. So he's fearless. He was not afraid. But in the next verse, which we have, go to your verse sheet. We will sing it together. He is afraid of something. It wasn't Nishingadev. He is afraid. So what could cause him to be afraid if he's not afraid of Nishingadev? So we will sing 7, 9, 16. That's the second verse on your page. Trastosmyaham kripanavasaladu sahora. Trastosmyaham kripanavasaladu sahora. Sangsara chakakaranat gasatam pranita. Sangsara chakakaranat gasatam pranita. Badha sakarma birusha damateng krimulam. Badha sakarma birusha damateng krimulam. Prita pavaga sharanam havayase kadanum. Prita pavaga sharanam havayase kadanum. Oh, most powerful, insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen souls, I have been put into association of demons as a result of my activities, and therefore I'm very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditional life? So he was afraid of bad association in this world because he is born from the demon father, and he is the king of the demons. He's going to become king at the age of 5 because now his father died. So he'll become the next king, and he's afraid of all the bad association around him. Of course, he did preach to his friends in the school, and they also became devotees, so not too bad, but he's still afraid. So now he says, when will you call me to you? He says to Krishna. So, I have a question for you to think about, and if you get an answer, you can raise your hand about that. So my question is that, oh yeah, okay, we have another microphone. Yeah. Does it work? Wow, wonderful. Okay, so my question to you is, how is the Lord calling you here? I mean, you could be somewhere else. I mean, or not just this class. I mean, to be a devotee, to be Krishna conscious. How is Krishna calling you? What made you come here? How did you hear the call of Krishna? Or how is he calling you even now, in these days that you are living here? Can you think of something, some way? What is it that is attracting you? How is Krishna attracting you to be a devotee here? Any ideas?
You mean how Krishna is attracting you to become a devotee?
Yes. Yeah. How are you being attracted here to do service to Krishna?
For me, it was knowledge.
Knowledge. Yes, so you're attracted by the knowledge is calling you here. You want to get that knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Okay? You have anything or?
No, it just felt like a natural progression in my life.
Oh.
Where it just
Wonderful.
came and it felt natural to serve and be around
It was
devotees.
just very natural. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Because it is natural to be, it's what we're meant to do in life and afterlife. Yeah, does any reason why you're over here?
I've always been attracted to physical service.
Oh,
and, like
great.
I said, doing stuff and creating stuff
Oh,
that is directed towards Krishna consciousness. So
huh?
whether it's doing service here or, you know, it might not be reading books and stuff or
Mm-hmm.
chanting on the street, but it might be,
Oh, you like to chant on the street? Yeah, that's fun.
but it'll be some kind of service. So that's,
Service, you're attracted.
yeah.
He's calling you by asking you to serve him. Good. Wonderful. Okay. So,
Born to a family.
what, he's born? Oh, he's second. Oh, that's why. Okay. Oh, yeah, but some of them don't hear the call. It takes a while. They will hear the call. They do hear the call. Most of them is, for most second generation, is kirtan. Kirtan, yes. Yes, and we do need the third generation. So if all they can do is have kids and do kirtan, that's fine. That's what we need from the second generation. Just have kids and do kirtan, and your purpose will be fulfilled. Right. Okay, so now we're going to go on, and I'll tell you in a few verses we're going to come together again. But the next 3 verses, you can look here, is about remedies. Remedies, we'll hear about remedies. There's a lot of remedies. If people are suffering in this world, and they try to find remedies for the suffering. But oftentimes, the remedies are worse than the disease. So let's see that verse, what Prahlada says, oh my Lord, although, people are suffering in this world, and there's many remedies to get out of miserable life, but many times these remedies are more miserable than the miseries themselves. Anybody have that experience where you took a remedy and it was worse than the disease itself? You can just raise your hand if you have. It's okay if you haven't. But I definitely have. You take medicines and the side effects are bad. And I just read yesterday that now the leading cause of death in the USA is medicine. That the side effects of the medicines, they're leading cause of death over cancer, over heart disease, leading cause of death. And so watch out. Don't take medicine in America, or else you might find yourself suffering more. And so verse 18, before we go there, I would like to give an example that this purpose, yeah, come over this side. That's the hearing side. That's the, you don't get anything over there. You have to look that way or this way and here. What we have to say, and we're talking about how remedies in this world are worse than the disease itself. So better spend your time serving Krishna and trying to improve the standard of your life. Yeah, the real remedy is to take the spiritual life, pray to Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. So there was one of our devotee, Godbrother Sannyasi. He was with his father when his father was retiring and from his company. He was like my age. And so his father he invited his son to come to the company, and the father was given a speech. Now, I'd been working so hard, day and night, for 77 years with this company. Finally, now I'm retiring. And he said, but my youngest son here, Hare Krishna, he retired at the age of 17 and joined the Hare Krishna movement. So he's more intelligent than I am because he worked hard his whole life and then now finished. He can't do it anymore. But Krishna consciousness you can do even in your old age, even when you're a kid. You can do it. It's not hard. Chant Hare Krishna. And so then the next verse 18, it says, oh, my Lord Shingadev, I will just chant your glories, and then I will actually serve in association with devotees and cross this ocean of ignorance. So now we're going to the 3rd verse on your prayer, on your verse sheet. I'll sing one line, and you can repeat after me. Balasya neha shavanam pitara neshingha. Balasya neha shavanam pitara neshingha. Nartasya chagadamodan vatima chato na. Nartasya chagadamodan vatima chato na. taptasya taprathivihi ya ihan jasheshtas. Taptasya taprathivihi ya ihan jasheshtas. Tava vibhotana vitan tvarupekshitanam. Tad vibhotana vitan tvarupekshitanam. O my Lord Nrsimhadev Supreme, cause of a bodily conception of life, embodied souls, neglected, not cared for by you, cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father and mother cannot protect their child. A physician in medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient, and a boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man. So, there was one emperor of the world, Alexander the Great. So he conquered a lot of countries, and even India. He came and conquered India many, many years ago. And he learned something from the Indian culture. He was one time he was traveling on the road, and there was one saintly person in meditation, like on the side of the road. So here he is, he's a very rich emperor, very proud. He said to this, you can give some papers to her. He said to this emperor, the emperor said to this saintly person, is there anything I can do for you? And the saintly person said, you're in my sun. Can you just move out of the sun? I can't meditate properly. So he didn't want anything material. And so I think Alexander learned some things, because at the time of his death, just before he died, he had 3 wishes. He said, after my death, I want you to do 3 things. First of all, the best doctors should carry my coffin. And second, all my money, all my wealth should be scattered along the road on the way to the cemetery. And number 3, my hands should be let loose, hanging outside the coffin for all to see. So, why did he want the best doctors to carry his coffin? Because even the best doctors cannot help you at this time. Why? All his money will be on the road. Because can't take it with you. And the third thing, his hands should be loose outside. You come empty-handed and you leave empty-handed. So he learned some Indian philosophy while he was in India. We should also understand that the best use of our time is to engage in service to Krishna, and then we will have eternal gain. So the remedy, what's the remedy? Is to help in serving Krishna. Use your time to serve Krishna. And now we're going to verse 20. You do have this verse. This will be the last one we have together. Interesting Sanskrit. This is a verse sheet on the first top page. 7920 is the number of the verse. It'll be the first verse on your top page of your verse sheet. Yeah, that's what you got. You want to give them, maybe they can also follow if you like. Give them a couple. And they can follow. This is 7:9:20. It's the last verse on the second. It would be the second page of your papers. No, third page. It will say verses at the top. Yeah. Third page. Yasmin yata yahi yena cha yasya yasmat. Yasmin yata yahi yena cha yasya yasmat. Yasmai yata yad utayasta para va. Yasmai yata yad utayasta para va. Bhava karati vikarati pita sabhava. Bhava karati vikarati pita sabhava. Sancharitasthadakila bhavata sarupam. Sancharitasthadakila tadakilam bhavata saruram. My dear Lord, everyone in this material world is under the modes, material nature, being influenced by goodness, passion, and ignorance. Everyone, from the greatest personality, Lord Brahma, down to the small ant, works under the influence of these modes. Therefore, everyone in this material world is influenced by your energy. The cause for which they work, the place where they work, the time when they work, the matter to which they work, the goal of life, they have considered final, and the process for obtaining this goal, all are nothing but manifestations of your energy. Indeed, since energy and energetic are identical, all of them are but manifestations of you. So what this means is it takes all the cases, like in English. In English, we have cases. Okay, you're looking for something there? You don't have that page. That's interesting. Okay, you somehow you are not getting the right papers today. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So these are different cases. If you study a language, they have cases like, present, and there we go. Put that there. Just here. There you go. Thank you. So yeah, so what this means is, Yasmin, in any condition of life, Krishna is there, you can find him. Then Yata, because something is happening, you wonder why, because of Krishna. Yarhi, at any time in the day or night, it's happening because of Krishna. Yena, by something, it's by Krishna. Yata, because of anything. Yena, yasya, in relationship, it has to do with Krishna. From yasmat, from anything. Yasmai, to anyone, you should give it to Krishna. Yatha, anyway, however you do it for Krishna. Yat, whatever you may have, give it to Krishna. Yeah, anyone who, yeah, it's Krishna. And so this is, we do have now, you're going to go to your prayers, which is the last page of your thing. We're going to say the last one was how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's over here in case you don't know. Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. This is also about him. This is about Lord Chaitanya. So I'll read down where it has the different phrases and the translation. And then you can repeat after me. Gora sascharitam mitam mitanidhi. Gora sascharitam mitam mitanidhi. Lord Gora is the nectar reservoir of divine nectarian pastimes. So you see it, it's down there. Goram sadaiva stute. Now you can repeat. Goram sadaiva stute. I always chant the glories of Gora. Gorena pratitam rahasya bhajanam. The most, see that. Gorena pratitam rahasya bhajanam. Most esoteric form of worship, mood of gopis, was preached by Gora. Goraya sarvam tate. Gora sarvam tate. I offer everything unto Gora. Gora asti kripalurattanapara. Gora asti kripalurattanapara. Other than Gora, there is no one in this world as merciful. Gora sapritya bhavam. Gora sapritya bhavam. I will become the servant of Lord Gora. Gore Goravam acharami. Hare Goravam acharami. I act in reverence centered on Gora. Bhagavan Gora Prabhu Bhagavan Gora Prabhu. O Gora Prabhu, Supreme Lord, please protect me. So that's the same prayer, same idea to Lord Chaitanya as to Krishna. So our last verse for today, you don't have it. It's about how our mind is trapping us with so many desires. And Prahlada says, you're expanding yourself, this external energy, the subtle bodies. So we have not only this body we see outside, we have a subtle body inside. And in that body is made of desires. I want this, I want that, the latest iPhone, latest car, the latest house. That's what we want. So we're kind of trapped by these desires. And that's why we should surrender to Krishna. If we surrender, we will get protected from having all these desires. So let me see. I think that's it. And we can stop here. If you have any questions, comments about anything about this.
So earlier, can I ask a question?
The question is, now it's time. You can ask questions now.
Earlier you said by being a devotee, we can liberate generations of our family. So what do you mean by the liberation?
Oh, okay. So before we were talking about how if you do service, if you pray, if you chant, you do these things, you can liberate your parents, your grandparents. Okay, you can pass these back if you're going. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, you can what kind of liberation do they get? So we hear the word liberation. So that question, same question you're asking me, was asked to Srila Prabhupada, my guru. And the answer he gave was the kind of liberation they get is they become devotees of Krishna. They will do service to Krishna, they will dress him and decorate him and feed him, and that's what the liberation they will get. They will become devotees of Krishna. So we are liberated, we are devotees of Krishna, so we're actually liberated in a sense. We're on the path. We're on the path of liberation, and it won't be too long before we end up in the spiritual world. So, yeah, you have any... Yeah, okay?
Can I ask a second question
Yes.
in relation to the
Yeah.
previous one? So does it mean that because by just being a devotee, we can liberate them?
Yes.
Does it mean that we don't have to perform our duty as a, material relationship, like being a good daughter or son? Or
No, you cannot neglect your duties in this world. But you have to have a balance between material and spiritual duties. You can read Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 30. Purport talks about material duties and spiritual duties, and how there has to be a balance between the two. We have to have a balance between the spiritual and the material, or otherwise, and that, I was talking in my class over there, that there's 4 things in your material duties. There's, while you're having material duties, there's 4 things that you have to balance: eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. Krishna says, chapter 6, verse 17 in Gita, you have to regulate, you have to make them equal, you have to make them equal. And if you do that, you will have no disease, mental or physical. That's yoga. That's actually yoga practice. Eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. You need all 4. Not you work hard the whole day and there's no recreation. Then you need all 4. You need to eat, sleep, work, and have fun too. And that's why I go to the ocean every day. That's my recreation. Especially when I'm in Australia. I'm happy over here. Okay, any other questions? No. No question? Okay. So we can stop here if there's no questions. And come back tomorrow. You can give your papers back unless you're coming back. You can keep them and bring them tomorrow. You can give them back. And then we can... Tomorrow will be all the reasons why we should surrender, how to surrender, and why is it better to be servant of the servant than to serve Krishna directly. That we will hear about tomorrow. Okay, Hare Krishna. Glories to Prabhupada. Thank you for coming. I'm glad somebody came. Thanks a lot. And who's your father and mother? Oh, yeah, I don't know them, no. From Australia? Oh. Your brothers and sisters? You have brothers, sisters? Oh. Wow. That's great. Good family. No. Kaliya Krishna. Sounds familiar. Oh, New Gokul. Oh, yeah. Wow, your whole family. Phew. Yeah, this is a beautiful place. You don't need to move. Yeah, me too. Yeah, yeah. Surfing. Oh, good, good. You got your work, you got your food, and you got your bed, and you got your work, and you got your recreation. Great. Thanks for coming.